mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, Lord, Thou hast willed and I execute. A new light breaks upon the earth, a new world is born. The things that were promised are fulfilled. With my love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, volume 15, page 323, topic psychic emotion. Our Divine Mother says, for example, there is a state where if you find yourself in the presence of a very precise, very clear psychic moment, a distinctly psychic moment, this happens quite often. The emotion is so powerful that tears come to your eyes. You're not sad, you're not happy, neither one nor the other. It does not correspond to any particular feeling, but it is an intensity of emotion which comes from something that is clearly, precisely psychic. It may be in yourself, but it is even more often in someone else. When you are in contact with an act, a moment, a manifestation which belongs to the psychic, then all of a sudden the eyes are filled with tears. If you call that an emotion, obviously it is an emotion, but usually it comes from one thing. The physical being has a not very conscious but very intense longing for a contact with the psychic life. It feels poor, destitute, isolated, and abandoned when it is not in contact with the psychic being. Not one physical being in a million is aware of this, but this kind of impression of being lost, left hanging, without protection, without support, of lacking something, not knowing what it is, something you don't understand, but which you lack, an emptiness somewhere. Well, this comes more often than one thinks. People have no idea what it is. But then, when for some reason or other this consciousness suddenly comes into contact with a clearly psychic phenomenon, with psychic forces, psychic vibrations, the feeling is so strong that certainly most often the body can hardly hold it. It is a joy that is too great, that overflows on all sides, that you can't contain, can't hold it in yourself. It is like that. Our Divine Mother says there is suddenly a sort of revelation, not very conscious, not clearly expressed. The revelation of that is what I must have, and it is powerful, so powerful that it gives you an emotion which is made up of so many things that you can hardly say what it is. These are the emotions that are not vital. A Divine Mother says vital emotions are of an altogether different nature. They are very clear, very precise. You can express them very distinctively. They are violent. They usually fill you with an intensity, a restlessness, sometimes a great satisfaction. And then the opposite comes with the same force. And so, many people think, we have mentioned this several times already. Some people imagine they experience love only when it is like that, when love is in the vital. When it comes with all the moments of the vital, all this intensity, this violence, this precision, this glamour, this brightness. And When it is absent, they say, oh, this is not love. A Divine Mother says, and yet, that is exactly how love gets distorted. Already, it is no longer love, it is the beginning to be passion. And this is an almost universal error among human beings. Some people are full of a very pure, very high, very selfless psychic love and yet know nothing about it and think they are cold, dry, and without love because this admixture of vital vibration is absent. For them, love begins and ends with this vibration, says our Divine Mother. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo speaks about psychic love in the collective works of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, volume 29, page 336. Our Lord says, psychic love can have a warmth and a flame as intense and more intense than the vital. Only it is a pure fire, not dependent on the satisfaction of ego desire or on the eating up of the fuel it embraces. It is a white flame, not a red one, but white heat is not inferior to the red variety in its ardor. It is true that the psychic love does not usually get its full play in human relations and human nature. It finds the fullness of its fire and ecstasy more easily when it is lifted towards the divine. In the human relation, the psychic love gets mixed up with other elements which seek at once to use it and overshadow it. It gets an outlet for its own full intensities only at rare moments. Otherwise, it comes in only as an element, but even so, it contributes all the higher things in a love that is predominantly vital, all the finer sweetness, tenderness, fidelity, self giving, self sacrifice, reaching of the soul to soul, idealizing sublimations that lift up human love beyond itself come from the psychic. If it could dominate and govern and transmute the other elements, mental, vital, physical, of human love, then love could be on the earth some reflection or preparation of the real thing, an integral union of the soul and its instrument in a dual life. But even some imperfect appearance of that is rare. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, when there is no demand or desire, only love and self giving, that is psychic love. Psychic love is quite satisfying. It can change even the vital love into something great and beautiful. There is such a thing as psychic love, pure, without demand, sincere in self giving, but it is not usually left pure in the abstraction of human beings to one another. One must also be on one's guard against the profession of psychic love when one is doing sadhana, for that is most often a cloak and justification for yielding to a vital attraction or attachment. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, universal love is a spiritual founded on the sense of one and the divine everywhere and the change of the personal into a wide universal consciousness free from attachment and ignorance. Divine love is of two kinds, the divine love for the creation and the souls that are part of itself, and the love of the seeker, and the love for the divine beloved. It has both a personal and impersonal element, but the personal is free here from all lower elements or bondage to the vital and physical instincts, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo.
Lord, we aspire to be thy valiant warriors, so that thy glory may manifest upon the earth. Give us the strength to reject falsehood and emerge in thy truth, pure and worthy of thy victory. Seigneur, nous aspirons à être tes vaillants guerriers, afin que ta gloire soit manifestée sur la terre. Donne-nous la force de rejeter le mensonge et de surgir dans ta vérité, pure et digne de ta victoire.
सूर्यो यथा सर्वलोकस्य चक्षुर्न चाक्षुषैर्बाह्यदोषैः एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा न लिप्यते लोकदुःखेन बाह्य नित्योऽयनित्यानां चेतनानाम् एको वहूनां यो विदधाति कामान् तमात्मस्थं येन पश्यन्ति धीरास्तेषां शान्तिः शाश्वती
नमस्तेस्तु महामाये श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गरुडारूढे कोलासुरभयङ्करे सर्वपापहरे देवी महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते स्थूलसूक्ष्म महारौद्रे महाशक्ते महोदये महापापहरे देवी महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते पद्मासनस्थिते देवी परब्रह्मस्वरूपिणी परमेशी जगन्माता महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदुःखहरे देवी महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते जगत्स्थिते जगन्माता महामीरा नमोऽस्तुते सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायिनी महामीरा नमोऽस्तुते
गन्धपुष्पे ओमेकस्मै देवाय ॐ श्रीमीरायै नमः ॐ श्रीमीरायै नमः ॐ श्रीमीरायै नमः
इदमर्घम् ॐ नमः अरविन्दाय नमः ॐ नमः अरविन्दाय नमः ॐ नमः शान्ताय सर्वपापहराय च ॐ नमो श्री अरविन्दाय.
Next topic, psychic approach. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo speaks about the psychic approach in the 32nd volume in page 476. Question: how can I have pure bhakti for the Divine Mother? For this, our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, pure worship, adoration, love for the Divine Mother without claim or demand, what is called Shuddha Bhakti. Question: from which part does it manifest? Our Lord says, from the psychic. Question: is psychic bhakti perfect devotion? For this, our Lord says, it is the basis of perfect devotion. Question: how can I develop psychic bhakti? Our Lord says, by sincere aspiration. Question: what is the character of psychic bhakti, mental bhakti, and vital bhakti for the Divine Mother? How to recognize them? For this, our Lord says, the psychic is made up of love and self giving without demand, the vital of the will to be possessed by the mother and serve her, the mental of faith and unquestioning acceptance of all that the mother is, says, and does. These, however, are outside signs. It is in inner character quite recognizable, but not to be put into words that they differ. Question: is there no place for mental and vital devotion in integral yoga? For this, our Lord says, who says there is not? So long as it is real devotion, all bhakti has a place. Our Lord Aurobindo talks about psychic transformation in volume 29 and page 307. The power of the concentration in the heart center is to open that center, and by the power of aspiration, love, bhakti, surrender, remove the veil which covers and conceals the soul, and bring forward the soul or psychic being to govern the mind, life, and body, and turn and open them all fully to the divine, removing all that is opposed to that turning and opening. This is what is called in this integral yoga the psychic transformation, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Divine Mother talks about psychization in volume 30 of the collective works of our Divine Mother in page 80 and says psychization means the change of the lower nature, bringing right vision into the mind, right impulses and feeling into the vital, right movement and habit into the physical, all turned towards the divine, all based on love, adoration, bhakti, finally, the vision and sense of the mother everywhere, in all as well as in the heart, her force and working in the being, faith, consecration, surrender. Our Divine Mother says the spiritual change is the established descent of the peace, light, knowledge, power, bliss from above, the awareness of the self and the divine, and of a higher cosmic consciousness, the change of the whole consciousness to that, says our Divine Mother.